Welcome to Tuesday's edition of I Hate It Here. My name is Erika.
I'm Marissa.
And thank you for hopping on the Hot Mess Express.
All aboard. Welcome to the Hot Mess Express. Choo choo.
I swear that's low.
You know, funny enough, when we were doing it separately, it sounds low on your end, but it doesn't sound low on their end.
Oh.
Because when I listened to it when I called in.
Oh, but I did it off my phone when you called in.
Oh.
I didn't do the desktop setup that we do here.
Okay.
Well, anyhow, you guys, thank you for listening to our tech talk.
Welcome.
Or behind the scenes.
Yes.
All right, guys. So, what is going on in your world? I was just telling Marissa how I have a new work enemy.
Nemesis.
A nemesis, guys. After 1 year of being in this company, it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen, and this bitch and I are going to fight. So I was telling Marissa that it was, so it's kind of weird because the company that I work for is like a legacy company.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have like a lot of like standard operating processes. It was just really like meshed, like the teams were meshed and put under like the wrong people, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, they hired somebody to cut like a new VP of marketing. So he came in, stepped in, separated from sales.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's now this whole new department. So they're kind of cleaning it out and like kind of figuring out the pods for
restructuring.
Right?
Yeah.
Restructuring, absolutely. So a lot of these people, though, have been there for years at this company because it's a legacy company.
Mm-hmm.
We had one project manager who recently retired, and she retired because she had been with the company for 44 years.
Oh, my God.
That was her first fucking job.
That was her only job
her
ever?
Her only job in her fucking life.
That is insane. I could never.
No. Could you imagine?
40 years?
44 fucking years.
Absolutely not.
So anyhow, she kind of like, she did a lot of stuff throughout the company. So she was always in different teams and stuff, right?
Okay.
So at the end, when she retired as a project manager in the marketing like pod,
mm-hmm.
but under the brand and creative portion, right? Did she really know what she was doing? No, I don't think so, right? But I think that's happened with a lot of people. So this, my new nemesis,
mm-hmm.
I think is the same thing has happened with her.
Mm.
I don't think that she
is like
qualified to be in this role.
It was just one of the things that as roles opened up,
she slipped right in, and so she's given the title, she's in this role, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of, like, I work cross-functionally with a ton of teams
mm-hmm.
in my position, and I kind of have to be a liaison. Part of it, I have to be a liaison with sales and marketing, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So making, like, pushing through their projects and making sure that we're getting stuff done for them, blah blah blah, right? So she's a project manager on this team. And when they fuck up, it's very like, she kind of like brushes you aside, right? Like, oh, no, like makes up excuses or like kind of like
like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
When it's on their end.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But when you fuck up, it's a whole fucking like Chicken Little, like the world is falling type of environment. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so at one meeting, she came at me and was like, oh, it's because blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I already apologized for that. But this is actually this ticket and blah, 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 right? So I tried to, like, correct her, but she came at me with a very ugly attitude. And luckily, my boss was on that call, right? So when the next day, my boss and I had our one-to-one, I let her know, I'm like, I don't appreciate so-and-so. The attitude.
Right.
I'm like, I caught the mistake. I corrected the mistake. I apologized for the mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and the project that she was talking about is a whole different project, which you heard on the call. But, like, I don't appreciate the attitude that came with it.
Right.
Because I don't talk to anybody that way, and I expect the same respect.
Absolutely.
So my boss was like, yeah, she's a little testy. And one of my coworkers, who's under my pod, but on a different team on my pod,
mm-hmm.
has had issues with her as well, right? Mm-hmm. We talked about it when I was in Salt Lake, when I recently there for work.
Yeah.
But So now she came at me in a different meeting, my new nemesis, and I gave her the same energy she gave me.
Oh.
And she was like, so she got really pissed off, right? And then in like the ticketing system that we use, she tried to like kind of tell me off in the ticket, kind of like reprimand me in it. And I was like, no, ma'am, I'm doing this per the directive of my boss, who I CC'd on that bitch because that's the directive my boss gave me.
Right.
Right? So then now after that, doesn't talk to me in meetings, will not like...
Oh, she's doing the microaggressions?
Total microaggressions.
Oh my God.
And then yesterday, I was really pissed because I think I mentioned it last week, my boss is off for this is the second week that she's off.
Mm-hmm.
So when she's on PTO, that means I'm on PTO.
Right.
So yesterday I had a meeting in the morning and then I had pool time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go hang out at the pool for a bit. But then I had to rush back for this meeting that she's the host of.
That she put on the calendar.
Yeah, no, it's a weekly standing meeting.
Okay.
Right? But I was like, I guess, how weird that she still wants to meet even though my boss is gone and
right.
Whatever, right? But I rushed back. A minute before the meeting was supposed to start, she cancels it.
Oh, no.
1 minute before the meeting and says, because boss is off, or Erica's boss is off, let's just cancel it. We'll regroup next week when she's back.
I'd have been like, no, ma'am.
Because that bitch did not want to talk to me. That's why she canceled that.
No, I'd be like, you cut into my pool time? Now look at us. Both of us have to sit here and look at each other.
Honestly, I'm glad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love being at the pool, but this week is fucking hot.
It is.
And I can't be hanging out outside and looking. I'm going to turn into Magda from Something About Mary if I keep hanging out poolside. I need to start reeling in the poolside time during the day. If I need to go lap swim, I need to start doing it early morning because I'm my tan is tanning.
Your tan is tanning.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yes, guys. So full circle, I've got a new nemesis and I'm here for the stories that it's going to give you guys.
Because we're here for content, guys.
I mean, things have been chill at this job.
It really has.
For a whole year, I had no nemesis.
Smooth sailing. It happens.
So you look at me bringing content.
Look at you bringing content.
What about you, Marissa? How was your day?
Work is work, guys. I was not meant to live a life of working for other people. No, it was. I mean, I've learned to separate myself a lot from the work and, everything that it comes with. But there are times where people will they do the microaggressions of oh, you need to make sure you get this. And so my boss, who's also the owner of the company, right? It was like, hey, because she's going to be out for the rest of the week. So she's like, do you need anything from me before I go? And I was like, yes, the same shit that I flagged to you last week. And the same shit that I flagged to you yesterday. I need this shit signed or it's not going to get signed, right? It's a contract for a partnership that we're doing. So it's kind of important, whatever. And she was like, oh, okay, well, can you send it to me? I was like, sure. So I just forwarded over the email with all the information. And then she emails me back saying, moving forward, one of your direct reports has to make sure that whenever they get this, because this was sent in originally from the partner on Friday, at 7 p.m.
Okay.
I'm not forwarding you shit at 7 p.m. Neither is my direct report because, I'm sorry, no ma'am.
No, the fuck not. My
no ma'am.
Over at 5.
No ma'am. So she then gets, she types it in an email make sure that your direct report, whenever we get this, it gets sent to me right away because we don't want to halt something. Well, I turned around and I was like, well, this was sent in after hours. I sent it to you Monday morning, first thing Monday morning. I just resent it to you so that it can hit the top of your inbox. This was sent, I asked that this be sent to me so that I can make sure I review it because that's my job. So if you want to, if you don't want me to review it, by all means.
We'll just start sending you
We'll start sending you everything. She didn't reply. But I was like, no, man. Don't fucking come at me. I don't give a fuck who you are. I will slap you back.
Exactly. And I appreciate that, Marissa, that you keep the same energy with the owner as you would anybody else.
Anybody. And that's truly, guys, how I am. Even with other companies.
Oh, yeah.
I would be in the C-level board meetings and don't come at me with attitude.
No.
I will slap you back.
Exactly, especially when you don't give that attitude to begin with. Like,
no, and I really don't. I know I give a lot of attitude here, but professionally, I really don't.
No, and I'm a very pleasant coworker, guys. I know we sound super bitchy here,
yeah,
but I'm really like super pleasant. I'm the personality hire. I'm funny. I'm very like, I let a lot of shit roll off my back because, quite honestly, I don't give a fuck. It's not my company.
Right.
You know what I mean? But so I don't talk terribly to people. I don't treat people terribly. So don't come at me with that attitude.
Yeah. So I do. Whether you're the owner, whether you're the janitor, you talk to me about it, we're gonna fight.
We're going at it, bitch.
We're going at it. I don't care who you are.
So look at us already in the fighting mood, and it's only Tuesday.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, Jesus, it's only Tuesday. I wonder what the rest of the week has for me.
Well, we'll figure it out. We did go to the Third Eye Blind concert this Saturday, which was so fun. I hadn't seen them in years and years and years, and he still puts on a great show.
Really does.
It was hot as fuck.
Oh my God, never again.
It was at the amphitheater that we have here in outdoor amphitheater that we have here in Houston, and it was so fucking hot. We were sweating balls.
I was sweating my fucking ass off, guys. I was just to the point that I went and bought. This is how hot it was because they had these ginormous fucking fans going like 0.5 miles per hour that wasn't providing any type of air. I went to the merch store because I was like, it's so hot that I couldn't believe that nobody was selling fans. That handheld fans.
That is such a missed opportunity.
Electric fans. I don't know, something. And according to them, this whole tour has been a bunch of those types of venues.
Yeah, it was an outdoor.
Yeah, it was an outdoor venue, but according to what he was saying, when he was playing, this whole tour has been a bunch of these outdoor venues. So it's like, there's no way that in the fucking summer heat, anywhere, they're not selling fans.
Right? Whoever did their merch fucking really fucked up on that.
I know.
But even at the venue, I mean, one of the local breweries has like a little area in that theater. And we frequent that brewery often. Next time I go, I'm going to be like, hey, you guys are missing out on making a ton of money because you could buy, like, these little fans are 50 cents a piece if you order X amount. I know you have to order them for corporate.
Yeah. You can source these really cheap and make a banging buck. Because
sell them for $15 and people will buy them. But anyhow, finish your story.
Yes, so I couldn't believe, I was like, they have to sell fans. Like, they just have to, right? So we're sitting there, and they were like, holy fuck, they're not selling fans. So what did I do? The next best thing. I'm going to buy a whole fucking vinyl record album to fan myself because I'm not going to go through this heat alone. I'm not going to sit there and fucking dehydrate in this chair. No, I will not. I don't even have a vinyl player, guys. Like, I don't even have a record player to play this in, so it's going to go to Erika's collection. But I was that desperate because it was so hot. It was ridiculously hot, and then it was about to. And here it was ridiculously humid.
Oh yeah.
So it's not just the heat because it was in the 90s, but it was ridiculously humid because there was a thunderstorm coming. So it was
crazy.
It was crazy.
They did an fucking amazing job.
They did.
We were the last show on their tour.
Yes.
So they were in a super good mood, super playful. Like maybe 5 songs in, they decided to toss away the set list.
Yeah.
And just fucking go with the vibes. Yeah, they were just winging it. They played the majority of the songs that they played, of course, were the hits, right?
Yes.
From the first 2 albums. They played a couple new ones, but what they did that was awesome in between, like the new ones, they would either like jam out, right? Which they were fucking awesome at.
Yeah.
Or in between some of the new songs, they'd like go into a cover. A cover song. So they did The Cure, and they did a little bit, they did The Cure, Just Like Heaven, and then they did TV on the Radio, one of their songs.
Yep.
And in between another one of their new songs. So it was a great show, so fun. I know this was the last stop, but if they're touring again next summer, which I think he said they are because they're going to be finishing up a new album, you guys definitely have to go. Oh, Sal's asking, did I enjoy the covers? Fuck yeah, I did, Sal. I was shocked.
I was shocked too because she typically will roll her eyes to the back of her head and be like, I hate this. No, we were jamming out. They did such a phenomenal job.
Yeah, they
honestly.
did a really good job. You know what? I'll put the covers on the I Hate It Here stories.
And the Instagram stories, yep.
Yeah, I'll put, because I have little snippets of it, and they did a good job on both covers. But you know what? Let's get into a song, and then we'll come back with the crazy stories of the day.
All right.
All right, guys, we are back. And I'm actually going to start with the crazy life story.
All right, we're switching it up.
This one is so good.
Ooh.
And I wanted to save it for next Thursday when we have Helen on, but I can't. I'm sure I'll find a juicy story for that Helen's on.
Okay.
But let's get into it, guys, because this is crazy. Okay, so it starts with my boyfriend of 1.5 years called me tonight to tell me about a strange phone call he had and received from a girl he knows. The girl asked him if he would be her sperm donor so she could fulfill her dream of being a mother.
Some girl he knows? What? What the fuck?
It gets better, Marissa. It gets so much better.
This doesn't sound like some just random girl that he knows from out and about.
Well, she's not.
Okay.
She's wanted a child for the last 6 years and had always hoped she'd find a partner to create a family with. But that just hasn't happened for her, so now she's trying to go at it alone. She said that she was inseminated within the last 2 weeks and that it cost $3,000. But there's only a 20% chance that it will take. She said she can't keep paying $3,000 for sperm, and so she's asking around to people she thinks match her criteria.
That's even wilder. You're just hitting up people for sperm?
I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, bitch. Like,
I know, she's already...
Like, give the sperm time to settle in the egg if that's what happens.
She's like, no.
That's fucking wild. Anyhow, background on her, she's been dating my boyfriend's childhood friend, but they recently broke up. So it's not just some girl.
No, that's what I was like, that's weird, but that's also even makes it even more weird because you are not my friend. You were my friend's partner.
And
my bestie's partner, and now you're calling me for sperm? No, ma'am.
She didn't say when, but I do know that they were still together 2 weeks ago because we were all invited out to a boat together. So 2 weeks ago, she was with this guy, and she got inseminated.
No, that doesn't sound right.
I've only interacted with her a handful of times and have always been civil, but I do have to admit that I don't care for her much. In our limited interactions, she's attempted to peer pressure me into doing things that I wasn't interested in doing. The things were minor, but the way in which she said them to me really bothered me. I politely declined her offers, and she would rebuttal saying, you don't like sports, but you'll play today, won't you? And then, here, you need to take this shot with me, nearly forcing me to take the cup from her hand, and then pouting when I wouldn't participate.
The fuck? Is she 5?
I don't know.
That seems, I don't know. This person seems weird. What do you mean you had a whole ass fucking boyfriend 2 weeks ago, but yet you paid money to go get inseminated? That makes no sense.
Maybe that's why they broke up. Who fucking knows? I don't know. Because it doesn't say why they broke up. There have been a few other minor behaviors of hers that just rubbed me the wrong way, and I figured she's just not for me. Still, I'm always polite and will hold a conversation with her when around her. Background on my boyfriend. He knows how I feel about this girl, but doesn't really understand why I dislike her. Always these fucking guys.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
You think he knows and is like...
I think that, I'm sorry, but I don't even fucking call around asking people for 20 fucking bucks, and I'm gonna call for somebody for some fucking sperm? Get the fuck out of here. No.
He thinks she's only being nice by trying to invite me to join in whatever the group is doing. I've tried explaining to him that I'm an adult and I'm allowed to say no to things I don't want to do without being continuously pressured to reconsider. He's defended her a couple of times, which has made me wonder if something was going on between them. But I decided I was overreacting and let it go. I feel slightly annoyed that he doesn't understand my perspective or validate my feelings, but this isn't a hill I'm interested in dying on. My boyfriend is genuinely a good person and likes helping people. He's a bit of a caretaker in his family, and I think he feels both obligated and fulfilled in that role. I don't know what the fuck that has to do with it,
I have like red flags all over.
All over. Fuck
I'm
that.
like, I don't know. This seems very weird. I feel like they've already done this, and this is just telling you after the fact. And I don't know. This fucking trio seems very weird to me.
Right? So tonight, after the call from this friend of a friend, as he called her, so he's calling her a friend of a friend after they've hung out. No, fuck that. Red flags are flying high up in this bitch.
No,
she's not a friend of a friend. She's your best friend's ex-girlfriend. You would call her by her
and
name.
you've defended her because you guys have been hanging out quite some time. So why is she all of a sudden a friend of a friend? But this friend of a friend is sitting here calling you a first friend? No, absolutely
not. Okay. He asked what I thought about it. I felt pretty shocked that he was considering it at all, but I told him what I thought. It's a bit inappropriate for her to be asking her now ex-boyfriend's best friend. I told him that the timing seems suspicious to me too. So soon after the breakup and just 2 weeks after an insemination, she isn't sure, hasn't worked yet.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand when they were having trouble conceiving. Oh no. I understand the desperation that some people feel when they're having trouble conceiving, so I'm trying to be empathetic. But my intuition is screaming at me. It just feels so strange to me. I told him I thought there was something weird between the two of them and that it was probably nothing more than my intuition or possibly insecurity, but that I've felt it for some time and that this was enough to finally bring it to light. He's not only defended her in saying that he doesn't think it's weird to ask an acquaintance to be a sperm donor, but he's fixated on my comment that something feels suspicious between them.
Because there is.
Because there is something about it.
Why do you get defensive about it? And number one, if this is not your friend, if this is your best friend, first of all, why are they talking? Why is my ex talking to my bestie? The fuck? We broke up? Bitch, you lose this side of the fucking deal. Yeah, you lose my bestie, you lose family, friend, you lose, like, there's no reason why you guys have
like, my connections are no longer your
connections. Absolutely. We're no longer part of the same pod. Get the fuck out of my pod.
Okay, he agreed that her ask was inappropriate due to his relationship to her ex, and he said he's going to tell her no, but I get the feeling that he wanted to help her.
He already has.
After we hung up, I gathered my thoughts and texted him that it would be a deal breaker for me if he were to be the donor, but I respect his choice either way. Am I the asshole for being suspicious of this girl and or my boyfriend? Fuck to the no.
Fuck no. I don't believe that something's not already happened. I feel like this is something that's being told to her after the fact. That timeline is way too fucking weird. Like, if my bestie's fucking partner calls and is like, hey, I'm looking for someone to carry my child, I'm not gonna be like, let me consider it. No. I'd be like, why the fuck are you calling me? And then the next fucking phone call is gonna be, bestie, guess what fucking phone call I just got? After I blocked his ass. Like, what the fuck?
That's so crazy. Something is totally up. You're not, I mean, people are inappropriate, of course, right? But, like, there's no way somebody's that comfortable
to ask somebody else for their bodily fluids.
And how is she going to get it up there? Is she going to go to the clinic? That's going to cost money.
I don't think she was thinking about a clinic, girl.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, it's not, like, she's not going to take his sperm to a clinic and you know what I mean? Like,
and get it professionally done, yeah.
Because, I'm sorry, it's because I can't, this is why I can't look at the chat, guys.
Because she gets distracted.
I get totally sidetracked. I get totally thrown off my track. But anyhow, I don't believe it. I feel like something might have been going on behind. There's probably flirtations. There was probably something that was happening for him to defend her. And again, what is it with these stories that we've been reading lately with the partners not defending their significant other?
Crazy. Over people that are not even like, it'd be different if it was like, okay, like I'm stuck in the middle. it's someone important in my life, like my mom or my dad, or even at that though. But it's been like some random ass fucking person, like out in the fucking world.
Yep.
And it's like, no, well, you know, I can't stick up for you because this fucking rando.
I'm not okay with that. There's something going on.
Absolutely.
Again, red flags all over the place. You guys, let us know in the chat what you think, because this is so fucking crazy that anybody's that. And to call her a friend of a friend.
That's what I'm saying. No. It's all over the place. It's, oh, we're not close, and he wants to make that clear by calling her a friend of a friend, but then gets defensive about her when flaws are being pointed out or negative things are being pointed out about her. But then
she's a friend of a friend, and it's okay that she's asking for my sperm.
That is
that's
insane.
Not weird. You just called her friend of a friend. You're just giving out your sperm to everybody? The fuck you think you are?
Like, sell it, motherfucker. Make a business if you're gonna do it. We can sell it to you, but we're not gonna give it away for free. Like, that is insane. No, there's something weird happening there, and I don't buy it. I've never been comfortable enough with anybody in my entire life that the thought of I'm gonna ask for someone for their bodily fluids has ever come to mind. I don't care how desperate I am in the situation or how much I want something. I would never sit down and be like, I'm gonna ask some fucking random person I know that's just a friend of a friend for something so significant.
That is so wild. You guys, go off in the chat. Let us know what you think. We're going to play a song. We'll be back. I mean, but if you want to call in Spiral over this story.
Yeah.
And with us, like, feel free. Hit the mic or hit the little plus sign. Call in. Like Roland does and Spiral with us.
Yes.
Roland's our number one.
I love it.
Spiral person. So feel free to do that. But if you also want to call in and share your outrageous story, feel free to do so. But we'll be right back.
All right. We are back.
All right, Marissa, go through the chat.
Yes. I think everybody was in disbelief as the story went on.
Should we give a quick recap for people who came in late into the story?
Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the person whose story we were talking about wrote in because her boyfriend of 1.5 years was approached by his best friend's ex-girlfriend.
Now ex-girlfriend.
Recent ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
Asking him for sperm because she wants to have a baby. Supposedly, she also went through a sperm bank, right? Which is $3,000 for the sperm. However, she can't be paying $3,000 every time she
needs to be inseminated.
Right? But it's only been 2 weeks that she's broken up with her boyfriend, his best friend, and it's only been 2 weeks since she's gotten inseminated.
For the first time.
Exactly. So the girlfriend of 1.5 years is like, what the fuck? She already didn't like the girl, already felt uncomfortable around this girl, already kind of questioned her boyfriend's relationship with this girl, because there had been times when the girl was a little pushy with her at, like, group settings. And the boyfriend always sided with this girl, always defended the girl, saying, she's just trying to get you involved, blah, blah, blah. Right?
Yeah.
But now she's approached him for sperm, and he's like, a friend of a friend called me and asked me for sperm. She's not a friend of a friend, dude. She's your bestie's recent ex-girlfriend. Let's call her whatever.
Susan.
You know Susan. We've hung out with Susan.
Yeah, we've hung out with Susan multiple times. This is not
a friend of a friend. She's not a rando, you fucking asshole.
Exactly.
And then she's like, that's fucking weird. They just broke up. She just recently got inseminated. And he's like, well, I mean, I don't think it's weird to call an acquaintance for that stuff. No, it's rude. It's weird as fuck.
It is. It's weird. It's there's red flags all over it. I feel like there's more to that. And now the person that wrote in is questioning whether that person is the asshole for having such a strong reaction of like, no.
Yeah, she's like now self-doubting herself. I'm like, fuck no, girl, you're right.
Yeah, a lot of red flags. So let me go through the chat real quick as we get Miss Helen on board. She wants to share a wild story. And we all can't wait. All right, going through the chat here. Looks like there's already some conspiracies here. Looks like Flaggy says, she's already pregnant by him. See, that's what I already thought.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think of that.
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, no, this is so weird to just be like, oh, random thing.
That is why her and the boyfriend broke up.
That could be.
2 weeks. Her
and she's been
the boyfriend
inseminated 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. I agree with Flaggy.
Shit. That's a good conspiracy, Flaggy. Fuck. I didn't do that.
Dun. Nikki says, these stories are always crazy. I would not associate myself with this person. They seem unhinged. Gotta be polite with them crazy people. You never know. Depends on what energy I'm in. If you're crazy, look at us both. Be crazy. I cannot crazy you. Helen says she already slept with him 2 weeks ago, and that's what caused the breakup. So I think we're all on the same. Right. I think we're all on the same page here. Nikki says not the asshole at all. Flaggy says not the asshole. Suspicious. But Nikki says my friends used a turkey baster. Dead ass. They just had their baby. Worked on the first try.
So
like that is crazy.
So behind the scenes. So that's where I looked at the chat.
Yes.
When I was talking, and that's what threw me off my tracks. Because I'm like, is that scientifically possible? Like, doesn't sperm die? Behind the scenes, Marissa and I had a whole conversation about this, and I did sound effects and everything that grows Marissa the fuck out.
Yeah, I was like, never do that again.
We need to do.
But I was like,
we need to do a blooper reel behind the scenes.
We do. No, but she was like, no, but like, doesn't it have to be stored at a certain temperature? I'm like, I don't think they're storing it. I think it's just putting it in a cup and then it gets transferred.
Okay.
TS is very weird and suspicious. Dave says, what an odd time to join the conversation. Welcome. TS says, right, give him his $100 minimum, but I wouldn't ask anyone for sperm. Right? It's just weird. No. TS says, I love your curly hair. May I have some sperm? What an icebreaker. All right, and then let's see. Mr. R says, isn't there a guy in Sweden that handles these types of situations? Yes, that was a documentary. But all right, we all agree, not the asshole.
And red flags.
Red flags all over the place. Girl, run.
I know, and I fucking love that I don't look at the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because of my ADHD, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because like when you guys throw out this shit and Marissa reads it out loud, like it's real time reaction.
Yes.
This theory is so fucking good, you guys. I love it. They did sleep together. She's pregnant, and that's why she's asking for it. Oh my god! All right, let's bring Helen.
It's Helen.
Hi.
You're already calling in with the crazy story. I'm so ready for it.
I think I teased it last week on Adam's show. And I was like, you guys know. And
I know. I even last Thursday I worked our show around you calling in. By the way, Missy. That's okay. I figured you were busy. Okay,
I
go
was
ahead.
prepping for my trip to California, but anyway, I have. So this happened to me. It's not a dating story, but so I have the wax lady, right? Mm-hmm. And my wax lady she's wild, right? And the more comfortable I'm with her, the wilder she gets, right? So she loves like.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean by wild? Let's like what's
like she's just a little bit out there. Like she's from Alabama.
Oh shit.
So she has like this real thick Southern drawl, and she's like she tells me the craziest stories, right? And I meet her with my dating stories, right? And she's all for it, right? She goes, oh, and then but she's like, girl, do I need to call the cops? She goes, what is this bruising? And I'm like, no, all consensual. And so she's been with me since like I've been single, so she's heard all the stories you guys have heard, right? And so we're talking like 3 months. No, this was like 4 months ago. And she starts telling me about how she went to the hospital and also she's always canceling on me. I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna sleep with someone right now. And you're canceling? She's always canceling, and I'm like, damn it.
Oh,
but I'm
you get a new
comfortable
ex
around her.
Oh, okay.
It's weird because it's like they're in your cooch. You need to be comfortable with them, right? And so I'm just like
not eating your ass, but they're up your ass.
In a very different way.
In a very different way. But so she tells me, she goes, I think she had canceled. She goes, girl, you don't even understand. I was in the hospital and this and that, blah, blah. I'm like, well, what happened? She goes, well, I get hemorrhoids really bad. And so she starts telling me all about her hemorrhoids. And I'm like, okay. And mind you, I don't get grossed out with stuff, right? So she's like, so I go to the doctor because I just can't sit. She goes, I'm in so much pain. And I go to the doctor. I'm in the ER. And I see the ER doctor. And he says, oh, yeah, the way you treat this is with some sugar packets. She's like, the fuck? And
sugar packets?
He's like, yeah. This is dead serious. This is how you treat this. So he's like, he sent his MA to his medical assistant to go get some sugar packets from the cafeteria. So I'll just put some sugar on it. The swelling will go away. And she's like, I'm in a lot of pain. And he goes, no. I've seen this before. Trust me. Nature really works for you and blah, blah, blah. And so she's like, okay.
What kind of fucking doctor she should go to?
Yes. So she puts sugar on it like all weekend.
Wait,
she's like,
but why does it have to be a sugar packet? It can't be
like just sugar. Well, I mean, you're not gonna go grab the
because I guess it's still sanitized or whatever. I don't know. Because you sanitize sugar? I don't know.
Because you're not gonna grab the one from your fucking pantry and make your coffee afterwards.
Okay,
I don't understand that. So she like goes back and she had an emergency appointment with her doctor. And he's like, that ain't hemorrhoids, that's a prolapse rectum. And she's like, what? So she has this emergency surgery and everything. She's telling me all about this. And then she goes, but I don't know what happened. And I was just really bad. And my mama came to take care of me. And, she's going on and on with this story. And I'm just listening, right? And she's like, so yeah. She goes, so I just wasn't healing and I didn't know what was happening. So I started taking pictures. Here, let me show you.
No.
So she gets her phone and she shows me a picture of her straight up bent over, like forehead to ankle, and just spreading her cheeks. And I'm like, what is happening?
No.
And she took a picture? Damn.
She had someone take a picture of it.
No.
She's not doing it on her own.
Well, I was like, damn.
And I'm just like, oh my God. And then I'm thinking, well, I guess she's seen my butthole. I gotta see her.
This is not a tit for
It's
tat.
an eye for an eye. No. Sugar is not gonna fix that. Yep.
Oh, this is a little weird, right? So I'm just like, okay, whatever. So a couple months pass, and then I go to her like 2 weeks ago, and she's like, we're talking, and then she ends up telling me, because we start talking about Mounjaro and Ozempic and everything. She goes, well, I'm on it. She goes, well, that's why I had all my butt problems was because I was on the injections. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she's like, she's telling me, she goes, oh yeah, I had a boob job like 25 years ago, and they're still, she goes, I think they were too big, and now, she goes, they haven't ruptured or anything, but hold on one second. I'll get it for you. 5 minutes, okay? Sorry.
She should not be around this show. She should
No.
not be listening to anything around this show.
Do not put us on speakerphone, please. Put some headphones in.
So
Earmuffs,
she's like,
baby, earmuffs.
So she's like, hey, she goes, yeah, so she goes, they haven't ruptured or anything, but I should probably get them done again and blah, blah, blah. So she's telling me, she was like, I can feel folds down there. And I'm like, what? And she goes, yeah, like, she goes, it's like folds. And I'm like, okay. And she whips up her shirt. Homegirl doesn't wear a bra. And she's like, here, look, grabs my hand. She goes, do you feel it? Do you feel it?
Like folds like a Sharpay? Or like...
Like, yes, kind of. But they're like, it's her saline boobs. They're like folding into each other. So when you run your hand across on the bottom, it feels like folds. And I'm like, oh yeah. She goes, no, but really dig in. I'm like, is this girl getting off?
I don't think she's your waxing lady anymore. I think y'all have a whole ass relationship.
Like, lines have been blurred.
Girl, that happens with the asshole picture.
I don't even know what to say. No,
so
I mean,
yeah, she's
you're supposed to get your boobs redone every 10 years.
Every 10 years when
25 years. She's lucky that shit hasn't ruptured.
Yeah.
Look. Well, maybe it was coming out of her butthole. I don't know.
Maybe that's what laps the ass. I don't know.
No, apparently that was against some back in the Manjaro. That made her asshole fall out.
No, that can't be.
Yeah, they just.
Well, she was saying that she was so constipated because she wasn't eating the right foods when you go on those injections or whatever. And so she goes, yeah. She goes like, people don't realize that. She goes, you need to like make a diet plan for that. And I'm like, no shit. But I don't know. She's my waxing lady. And I'm like, should I stop seeing her? And I'm like, nah, fuck it. I have fun with her. So.
I have fun with her and her
severe medical problems.
Her asshole hanging out and her full.
I think the only thing you're missing is a vagina. Then you've seen it all.
Right?
I feel like I just had to tell someone because this is wild.
Looked at your vagina and your ass. Now you've got to let her feel your boobs.
Now you gotta show her your boobs and let her.
Yeah, she's got to feel your boobs and you've got to look at her vagina and it's all equal.
It's all equal. You got even and nothing more.
Everything has been canceled out.
It didn't happen. Holy fuck. Can you just imagine the fact that she took a picture and she saved it on her phone and she was like, I gotta show people this.
Oh, I'm fucking taking that to the grave if it's happening to me. Nope. I'm sorry, no. You're not waterboarding that shit out of me.
No. Absolutely. Wow. The confidence.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
And only stuff like this could happen to Helen.
Fucking people live in Utah. What the fuck? What is happening?
I mean, when someone asks me now, hey, want some sugar? I'll be weary.
No, that was some fucked up shit. Putting the sugar on hemorrhoids. I have never heard of that.
Never.
Yeah. So.
Wait, but she did it? Did she do it, or did she just?
Yeah, the doctor told her.
Did she go to a real doctor? I still feel like she did.
She said she went to the ER hospital. She told me McKD. She was, I was at McKD. And, yeah.
No.
She should sue the shit out of that doctor.
I feel like he wrote the script for her and kept the script. Gave her some sugar.
But what kind of script do you take for a fucking lapped asshole?
I don't know. Maybe he wrote it for Oxy or Vicodin. I don't know. You never know. I've seen House. It's true.
Okay, Meredith Grey, relax.
Oh my God, Helen. Well, that is a wild story, Helen. I mean,
only Helen.
And it's not. I mean, Helen, guys, that we're talking to her will be on the show again next Thursday to fill us in. Right, next Thursday?
No.
Yes.
That's the third Thursday, or is it the week after?
I think it's next Thursday.
Yeah, I think next Thursday is the third Thursday.
The third.
So anyhow, Helen will be on with us while we do an episode of The Morning After, and she will. She's our dating correspondent.
Yes.
So she will be giving us updates on her newly single life after her breakup.
Yes, from Dirty, yeah.
All right, Helen. Oh my God, that story's crazy. I don't think any of us are going to be able to sleep tonight.
No. I feel like as a PSA, do not put sugar on your asshole. Please. We don't give medical advice.
No,
we don't condone this.
But as an unlicensed, unqualified, unprofessional medical person, I feel very comfortable telling people not to put sugar up their ass.
I know.
I feel very comfortable giving that advice out.
Me too.
So I'm going to stand by that.
But if you do, let us know what happened. Because now I'm intrigued.
All right, Helen. Well, we will see you in the Station Head streets, and we will definitely have you back on Thursday. Thank you for that wild story.
Thank you for sharing.
Thanks for letting me call in. Bye.
Bye. Well, I'm glad we were not alone in this. Everybody got to take this journey with us, and Helen's taking the train for a ride.
Yep. We all went down the same
We all
spiral.
have nightmares. We're all going to be thinking about this. This is going to be our Roman Empire, guys.
Moving forward, absolutely.
For the next 2
weeks.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Who knows? We'll stick with 2 weeks since that seems to be the theme, the running theme.
About
But
that
you know
time.
what, guys?
Yeah.
Let's go to a song. Let's take a breather from this, and let's all recollect ourselves, and we'll come back.
Okay. All right. We are back.
I mean, aside from all the butthole gifts that we got in the chat, which were a lot.
It was.
I didn't realize Station Head had that many options for assholes.
And assholes, yeah. I mean,
not like the type of assholes that we are, but like the true asshole.
The true definition. Tia, top tier comment. Pour some sugar on me has a new meaning. I was dying during the song. That is hilarious. My goodness, what a way to end the show.
I know.
With a bang.
Any other comments on there?
Looks like Holly says apple cider vinegar is great for hemorrhoids, or is sherry I forget. Mr. R says chicken wire and duct tape and you're good to go. Airstream Queen says you made it to second base and had to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. Collie says, I knew I should have eaten earlier. This pork rump is not quite as appealing now. Blaggy says, this is why he never shows his butthole to anybody.
Nope.
Fair. And then all the assholes.
I mean, butthole and sperms today, guys.
Woo!
And folded tits. I mean.
To sum up, the I Hate It Here trade today was all about anatomy.
And then, oh my gosh. And then my new nemesis, who's a total cunt. There we go. We've touched all body parts.
We touched all the no-no areas. There we go.
The whole no-no square.
I mean, to be fair, Helen did 3 out of 4.
All right, guys. So that being said, we're done.
Yes.
This was a funny show. Thank you, guys. The chat was fucking hilarious. Helen's stories are always like chef's kiss.
Yes.
Next. This coming Thursday. I'm sorry.
Yes, this
we
coming
have
Thursday.
Miss Tia joining us for
Ooh,
Songs We Hate. I am so stoked. That is going to be so fun.
Yes.
And I think we're going to open a portal to hell with like the triangle of hate
that we're about to build.
Yeah, we're like,
I love it.
Like the I was gonna say like the hocus pocus witches, but no, maybe like charmed witches, like that show, but a little more vengeful. Like I don't know.
Queens of Hate. There you go.
Queens of Hate. There we go. So it's gonna be a wild show. So I hope you guys can tap in on Thursday for that. Then, as we mentioned earlier, Helen will be back the following Thursday for our monthly installment of I Hate It Here, the morning after.
Yep.
Where we talk about all of life's regrets. And Helen, our dating correspondent, calls in and gives us updates on her life out on the streets.
Yes. On the streets of Utah.
But if you guys want to ever call in and share your story, feel free to do so. Just always tap the mic, call in like Helen did. We love having you guys call in, sharing your stories with us. If you don't have a story but just want to call in and spiral, like Roland tends to do with us, we love that too.
Go ahead.
Jump on you could spiral with us on whatever crazy story or subject we're on. Jump on the train that way. Then, but if you don't, if you do have a story but don't want to come on air and talk about it, you can send that to us.
Yes, you can always get a hold of us. You can always DM us here, or you can DM us on Instagram, and our handle is
at IHIHWHS.
And on there, we also have a link tree that gives you all the contact information. We also have a Gmail that you can send in, and you can do it totally anonymously. We will never share.
No, we've done it before.
Yes.
People have shared their story with us like that plenty of times. And,
yes,
and we will
do it anonymously. So definitely feel free to share. Use us as your narrators and see what the I Hate It Here crew thinks about it.
Yep.
Yeah. Tia says I'll have to call in one day about when I worked at McDonald's and I almost got into a fight about a melted cheese.
Oh, yes. Please do so.
I know.
All right, guys. So that is it. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time. And we will see you at your shows.
All right. Thanks, everyone.